Yeah, so so this is their pick, Sakana's team, but you can see immediately that they're not doing it as huge a pull here as Team Goat. I think they bursted down a couple before they pulled the extra on the platform. So this pull this week is very, very dangerous. You should not try this on higher keys because there are 2 inspired in these 2 packs. So there's one up here where you take the Flight Master, and there's one right at the start. And the Rebellious Fist from the Golem, it hurts getting fisted by that Golem. All right, you don't take it from me. If you're on a higher key, it goes through. You're dead. You don't want to have to deal with it. But because we've been doing low keys, we're level 10s. It's a bit more acceptable. You can take a bit more of a damage. You can just observe your way through it. Just press your buttons, focus on your rotation, and worry a little bit less about the mechanics. And you can really pump those numbers, with a little bit more not caring.
Yeah, don't get fisted, guys. And we can see GBA are moving to the boss here. They are pulling everything together with the boss and just nuking everything with their spinny things.
You can see Infrak and Alex dropping a little bit because it is quite hard to, when you're in the middle of like 16 mobs, you're like, I'm pressing my buttons, I'm not looking at anything else. You might get hit by a mechanic, but that is what we like to call a healer's problem. If you don't die, and you can be healed up, it's not my problem to worry about. That's Haz's problem. Isn't that right, Haz?
Well, if people stand and stuff and the key goes quicker as a result, sure, go for it. But
exactly.
Sometimes as a healer, you just feel spiteful.
Oh, we saw another death there. Doomdot got blasted by some kind of beam from the boss spawn.
Was that a beam, or was that one of the black balls that hit him?
I think I saw a beam from the what's it called, the robot that spawns from the orbs.
The Via Interceptor. Yeah, that beam, especially here in Spires, if you were to fight the Via Interceptor on the stairs, then it can be quite hard to actually see, and thus quite a decent chance of getting hit.
Yeah, the fusion beam is also. I know one of the members of these teams, Raz, is colorblind and therefore cannot know where anything is ever. And I also find, as a non-colorblind person, that on Spires it's bloody impossible to see. The amount of times I'm like, I'm fine, and then I'm dead is too many to count. Especially like Haz says on the stairs, because it does not do with elevation well.
We're seeing still again GBA. Oh wait, Alex died here, but GBA pulling huge numbers of ads and trying to spin them down.
So on that pull, there are mobs called skirmishers who hurl things at you, and they do a lot of damage if they all target one person. So it can be like really bad. What's that? Oh, I really like what Team Goat's doing here. I think this is a really smart pull, because normally you do this pull and then you pull these cats things, and they're trying to do them at the same time. So this is a bit risky, because the skirmishers you see, the ones that are casting hurl right now, they tend to leap back, and as all melee DPS know, and anyone who does AoE, if the mobs are spread, you're not going to have a good time. Now this is mitigated by the fact that you have a survival hunter, you have a Shadow Priest and an Affliction Lock. And these classes, they can still do a lot of AoE, even though the mobs aren't right next to each other. So I think this is a really clever pull to do from Goat, and really unlocks the potential of their team comp.
And we just saw the healer here just carrying the team absolutely. Everyone getting low, but still pulling through. It was quite amazing to see.
I'm sure the Protection Paladin also is putting out a shit ton of off healing there. It was really, really good. Now, Paz, from what we can see, that Team GBA has gone left and Team Goat has gone right. What can you tell us about what do you think of the pros and cons of each different route?
So, just a moment before I get into that, we can see that Doomdot here is playing Destruction.
Oh, is he playing Destruction now?
Yes.
Oh!
Which will be interesting to see how that works out. But regarding which route to... regarding the 2 different routes, left and right, I personally prefer right. I just have horrible PTSD flashbacks to going left, playing Paladin healer in Season 1. that just felt rough, despite the fact that going right has the two Goliaths with the rebellious fists. But as you can see, like GBA is clearly making it work.
Yeah. So I think the big argument for going left, for not going left, sorry, from what I understand is there's an extra squad leader mob there, and so the squad leader mob, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure there is another one. There's an extra one on the left. I might be wrong there. I haven't done this dungeon on the left for many, many years, and so the squad leader mob basically reduces all AoE damage. So you could make the argument that they've, Team GBA's intentionally hampered themselves by going left, but they could have like done this in a couple of practice runs and just figured out that on this low key level it doesn't really matter that much. You can still nuke that down the thing so quickly, and then you just pull it onto the boss here like they're doing, and you'd love to see it.
Yeah, regarding GBA hampering themselves, I am a bit curious how it would be if the two just swapped sides. So then GBA just could, pull as they wish, and Goat there could perhaps not really need to care as much about the additional squad leaders due to that Shadow Priest and that Restoration Shaman. I'm thinking with Chain Lightning, since that counts as multiple instances of single target damage, but maybe that's for another day.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I think both sides are very, equal, and I think I personally prefer the right because it really unlocks the potential for huge pulls, and I think I prefer it in general. But as you can see, both teams are doing really well so far. They're doing big pulls, they're doing brave pulls. This pull on the right that Team Goat's doing by no means is an easy pull, and you can really see, them, popping off on the damage meters.
Speaking of huge pulls, as you see here, they on the Goat side, they did go for quite a large one, but it does also contain a squad leader, which, I mean, it seems to work out, but that could have been scary.
Yeah, I think on this level of key, you probably find, like you said, with the Restoration Shaman, with the Shadow Priest, you do a lot of single target quite quickly. You still have access to that AoE that will burst down everything, and then it unlocks that big pull for you. So as long as you can get down the squad leader quickly, I think it can really pay off. I'm curious to see how how much their warlock has experience with destruction, because from what I understand, it's a fairly decent big playstyle change from Affliction. So to see that multiple members of these teams comfortable with different specs and open to trying them, I think is really impressive, and it speaks to great competition and all that sort of stuff to try and push yourself to use all these tools at your disposal.
Yeah, that's I agree with that. Like, it's quite a good thing to be able to utilize.
Yeah, I like where Team Goat is tanking the boss. That's I don't think I've ever seen a tank there, but with that big pull, you can really see that rain of fire like crashing down. I think that's good stuff. I approve.
I would imagine that also simplifies if you were to want to line various casts there.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it still goes through the pillars.
Yeah, but if you were to line it, like by the very, very right there.
Or has science must be done later. For now, let's talk about Goat, because they are almost 50% through that boss right now, and obviously Team GBA, they're on Ophorion, who they did a lovely big pull with, but you can really see both of these teams were really pushing as hard as they can, and those bosses are dropping quick.
Yeah, that's quite right. I do wonder regarding the like what count difference that they'll end up on, since like just due to the various different.
So I think I think from what so they're on 82%. I think they need to, if they kill the Helion, they can kill one pack, and I think they should both be on the same level of count. I couldn't tell you exactly what the left side pulled because I haven't done this for ages. And you can see on offering they just give Ras all the balls because on a level 10 you don't need to soak them. You don't need to make other people soak them. Just make a tank do it. It's his mechanic. He can do it. Hope the DK doesn't get any by accident, and just go in.
Yeah.
It does a lot of damage when those balls hit you. Did Alex just die there? Is that the Necro thing that just popped up?
He just dropped dead there.
That's the Smith Aramir's trait.
So that's Raz's fault for not soaking more of the orbs. We can, minus 50 DKP to Raz.
I think maybe he has a preference for letting the Brits survive. We know that 4 of the members here are Brits, and just Alex is a Dane. So maybe something happened there. We don't know, actually.
Yeah, screw Scandinavians. I agree with you, Mark. I agree with your commentary.
I have to just give a quick shout out. Like, Danes are awesome, and
everyone's awesome, no matter where you're from. The British is better than everyone else. So yeah, this is what I wanted to see in this poll. So you pull all 3 of these last mobs that GBA have just started. You spear it, you hero, you go bloody bananas, and then you don't have to deal with nearly as many of those fucking spears that go around and then make it the move, and you either do less DPS because you're like, where's this going? What directions are facing? So I love to see those 3 polls there, and we can see on Team Goat they're just putting in these mobs. I think I'd have liked to see it with the boss, but they might want to just group them up before they pull it. But it is a lot of random healer damage, so you've got to be. I don't think they need to pull the second pull. They're on 87%.
You need 87.37 before going up. So I do believe they need that second pack. The one mob you could skip is right after the first.
Is it 86% they have right now? No, it's 87.
Yeah, but you need 87.37. So with this route, there'll be a little bit overcount. One, you could skip one of the mobs, as I mentioned there, after the first boss in the 3-pack there to the left, and then you'll be exact count.
I thought I guess I couldn't. Maybe. I thought you're probably right, but there was like 87.1% or something. I'm not a count man. I just kill what the tank brings in front of me.
We just saw GBA killing the 3 ads, and they basically killed them like it was nothing. That pull is just a complete nightmare for melees, but they just handled that so well. And so it's on the boss now.
It's a lot easier when you do it right at the start because everyone normally has their cooldowns up. You got hero, and you can kill all 3 of them very quickly. So when you do those 3 separately, it becomes easier, but it can drag out a little bit, which it can cause some healers for the some issues for the healer because there's a nasty debuff that some of them put out, and it's not fun for melee, it's not fun for range, it's not fun for anyone. It just sucks. It just bloody sucks. That's what it does. It sucks.
That's one of the times where it's nice to have a bubble as a paladin. Just fuck up and use that bubble. It works every time.
Regarding that triple pull, though, as Pignons mentioned, regarding the nasty dot, you can actually shadow meld it to get it to just vanish off and not get hurt nearly as badly. But one reason that I quite love the Triple Angel pull with GBA's comp is that they're running 2 monks, so they can, if there's a little bit of a health discrepancy, they can use Touch of Death on the 2 remaining angels to just make sure that none of them heal up to full, or that neither of them heal up to full when one dies.
Yeah, no one likes that. No one likes when you kill a mob to 10%, and then it gets healed up to 100. It just crushes your soul, is what it does, and it's very upsetting.
Okay, we see Goat getting up to the boss and pulling, and they pull all 3 ads as well.
Yeah,
we'll see how this
goes. See that. It's on this level of difficulty. I would be surprised if they didn't. But these are all excellent players in their own right, and you can really see it. And as we talk about that, we see GBA finishing the dungeon, and that was a really smooth pull from all of them as well. with only one death, I think, again, with the Alex's death on the third boss, which was probably due to Orb's mishaps.
Yeah,
I don't
we
know.
saw Alex's death, and we saw Doomdot's death on the beam
Yeah,
from
the first boss for them. Well, there you go. Look, Warlock's, it's a one-hand spec. You gotta do what you gotta do.
And again, here we see GPA with a total time of 15 minutes and 16 seconds, plus 3 deaths. We missed it.
I'm blind. I start talking, I forget to stop talking, I miss stuff. It happens. So, on Bath and Has. I'm innocent.
Actually, yeah, we saw 2 deaths, but maybe they just had one shadow death that nobody saw and nobody cared about. That's how it should be. Just quick revive. And Goat with a time of 17 minutes and 55 seconds with 1 death on the first boss.